New space. Palo Santo. Gonna cleanse it a little bit. It's called Palo Santo. It smells really nice. It is it's from a tree somewhere far away, and it cleanses the space. So that's what I'm doing before class. Okay, so this is a mind, body, soul class. This is a great class if you just had a hiccup with your body parts. For me, it was my back. That's a reoccurring theme for me. I have like 3 different scenarios in my life with my back. Number 1, it feels fine. Number 2, it's tight. That's probably 80% of my life. My back is just tight. And then number 3, there's a hiccup. There's pain, and that can go a couple of different ways too. Luckily, this time it wasn't so bad, and I've been able to reduce my normal daily activities and be really careful. So I'm going to use a foam roller in this class. We're going to focus a lot on length, a lot on breath, and also just along the way, there's definitely a lot going on in the universe. So just releasing some of the stuff through the deep breaths that is lingering in the body and the mind, okay? So just grab your foam roller and hopefully a quiet space, quiet-ish, and we will get started. Okay, we're gonna start on the hands and knees. Hands and knees. And I'm going to sit back on my heels. My foam roller is right at the end of my fingertips. My knees are a little bit wider than my hips. And I'm just going to pull the foam roller in so I can sit up nice and tall. And I'm probably going to have to keep adjusting the foam roller as I roll out. And I'm just going to roll all the way out, keeping my foam roller where it is, and then hopefully I end up in a place where my head can hang lower than my arms. And that feels really nice. And I'm just going to take a nice deep breath there. And then I'm going to roll back slowly. For me, I just have to listen to my back and my parts as I move. When I come to the top, neutral spine, lifted chest, and then look back down and roll back out. Roll back out. When you get to the bottom, relax the head, release it if you can. Maybe even move your head from side to side. Make sure you're breathing. And then we'll roll back again. All the way up to the top. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Feel free to pause and breathe wherever is a place that feels nice for you to do that. And last one here. Roll it out. Roll it out. When you come to the top, push your foam roller away a little bit. Turn yourself around. And we're going to pull the foam roller underneath our mid back. And just to throw this out there, my foam roller is soft, okay? If you have any osteoporosis in your spine, rolling directly on the spine, as far as I know, is contraindicated for that condition. So I would say hold off rolling back and forth on your spine if you have any osteoporosis on your spine. Chat with your doctor. Also get a softer foam roller. This is really much nicer and kinder to the muscles and the fascia and the vertebra in the spine, okay? So hands behind the head. elbows looking up. I'm just below my own shoulder blades. And then with a nice deep breath, I'm gonna go back towards the floor and then exhale and curl up. I love to add a deep breath here just because it feels great. Inhale back. Exhale, curl up. Inhale back. Exhale, curl up. And I'm going to do this 3 more times. This is a nice little wake up for the abdominals too. Exhale, curl up. 2 more. And last time. And then I'm going to lower halfway down, scooch my feet closer, lift the pelvis, roll forward so I'm right in between the shoulder blades along the line of the shoulders, not on the neck. I'm going to put my tush back down, scooch the feet out, and do the same thing, just 3 more times. And it feels quite different than it just did, a little bit lower on the back. 1 more. And then you can let your head go back. Scooch back if your head doesn't reach the floor, and then try and release the head down. If this is too intense for you, you can always grab a towel or a squishy ball, something, and just rest it underneath your head to decrease the intensity of this stretch. Otherwise, just lie back. I'm going to bring my arms wide and just enjoy this stretch as well. And 2 more deep breaths here. One more. Hands come back behind the head. I'm going to curl it up. And then I'm going to turn myself completely over. Push the foam roller forward a bit. Right onto the belly. And foam roller comes underneath the wrist area. Trying to get yourself comfortable in your pelvis and your legs, and then relax the head down. So this is just like a shoulder mobility and release movement. Slide the foam roller forward and back. And when you do this, maybe soften the elbows. Make it like almost a little bit like a shoulder roll. Circular motion, and breathe. Good. And then extend the arms, and you can pull the foam roller right underneath your own wrists. We're going to do a bit of a head, neck, and chest lift here. Go ahead and gently press the pubic bone down to the floor. Push down with your palms or your wrists. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders and come up as high as it feels okay for you to come. Your body will really tell you what your range of motion should be. And then relax back down. And lift. And I'm trying to find so much length here. It's very easy to dump all the weight into the low back. For me, I don't want to do that at all. So I'm lengthening away, lifting the low belly, pressing the pubic bone down just a little bit, and then lowering back down. 2 more like this. And 1 more time. Good. And then from here, I'm just gonna let the foam roller come away for a minute, put it at the end of my mat, and come onto my side, my head on my arm. Top arm, hand will just kind of be right in front of the chest or the ribs. Knees pulled forward, so it's just a nice, easy bend. Let's say knees right out in front of the hips, but just a quick pelvis check-in. Make sure you're not tucked here, just a nice, easy, neutral pelvis. And then the top leg is gonna move, and it's just a really nice, easy circle. And there's so many other movements you can do here that also feel kind of nice and easy. Maybe you're going straight up and down. Maybe you're lengthening right out and coming right back in again. You know, because one of the reasons why I'm doing this class, because my body isn't functioning exactly how I'd like it to. I'm always kind of figuring out what feels good and what doesn't. So you do that too, and then either leave something out or do something else. And you can really do that with any class you take ever, forever. Forever and ever. And then I'm going to go the other way. And a couple more times here. And then resting all the way down. I'm going to straighten my bottom arm out so I can rest my head on my arm. And then I'm sliding my bottom arm forward. And then bringing this top arm up and back. And sliding the top arm forward, reaching it forward. I'm bringing my forehead all the way down to the mat. And then coming all the way back. One more time. And reaching back. And then coming forward, relaxing the head on the arm. I'm bringing my top hand to my top foot. I'm going to keep my bottom leg bent. And I'm just going to create a stretch for this quad area. You can just move around until you feel the stretch that you want. Sometimes leaning forward and pulling the leg back feels good for people. Just keep adjusting yourself until it feels like a nice stretch. Knee up or knee kind of relaxing down towards the ground. Even how you have your foot will change this experience. Flexed foot feels different from kind of just a completely released foot. I'm just holding on right onto the foot close to the ankle. And then I'm resting right at my side, so I don't really have to work to be here. I can just relax into it. Two more deep breaths here. And one more. And then release the leg. Let the leg come down. Lengthen both legs out. I'm going to take my foam roller and bring it right in front of me. And I'm going to keep my top elbow soft, but hold on with my hand. And then just lift away from the floor a few times, pushing down with my bottom arm and my top arm at the same time. And then lowering back down. Lifting up. Kind of like a little side curl, a little sort of modified side sit up. And just one more here. And lower down. And now the top leg is going to come up a little bit. And then I'm going to add the bottom leg. And then the top leg. And the bottom leg. And there are some times where when my back is feeling funky, that it does not feel good. to move like this, but today it feels okay, which is nice. I'm gonna do 2 more here. And 1 more. And then lower all the way down. Bend the knees. Use your hand on your mat and sit yourself up. Keep your knees bent, but bring your bottom leg into this little Z-sit position, foot on thigh. Arm to the ceiling. Big old stretch here. For me, I also have to be really careful when my back is like this, because stretching can send me right back into that discomfort. So a little bit of a release, but I certainly don't want to send my parts into another spasm again. So I'm making this really small. And then down. And I'm going to flip over and do the other side. Head on arm, knees bent. Just a quick little spine check-in. Make sure you're not sort of in a tucked position. Nice and neutral. Even here, I'm not just completely relaxing down. I'm kind of lifting my midsection just to keep the spine nice and long. Top hand right in front, and then a nice easy circle. And it's really common for me, when my back is like this, for one side to feel really different from the other. So if it's like that for you, just continue adjusting as you need to. Deeper the breath, the better, probably. And then I'm going to go the other way. And then I'm going to lower all the way down. Extend the bottom arm. Roll forward. And then roll back. And roll forward. And roll back. One more. This one will hold. One more exhale. And then roll back. And then from here, I'm going to take my top hand. And again, I'll grab my top foot somewhere, the ankle, the foot, closer to the toes. Noodle around until you're just holding on to a place that feels good. And then also move around, lean forward a little bit, lean back, move this top leg forward or back a bit until you have your desired stretch through the flexor and the quad, and then just breathe. One more deep breath here. And then you can release that. I'm going to bring my foam roller right in front of you to use it. Legs long, hand kind of right out in front of the chest, soft elbow, top shoulder plugged in. I'm going to do like like a, just a little mini side sit-up, very gentle. You can either keep your legs straight or bend them a little bit. 2 more. And 1 more. Now I'm going to keep my head down, lengthen the legs out a bit more, lift one leg, and then both. And again, I'm trying to lengthen out from my center. It's still really easy to like dump all the weight towards the low back, but find when you lift your legs like you're reaching them away from you, and then you have that same feeling with the head and the bottom arm, like you're just gently reaching out away. 2 more here. And 1 more. And then lower all the way down. Take a nice deep breath here. Bend the knees, come back in. I'm going to bring this back behind me. And then come all the way up to sit. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh well. This Z-sit position with the heel close to the tush, foot on your opposite thigh, and then reach up and big stretch over. And come up and exhale. And 1 more. And then come all the way up. And let's come back to the hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're just going to move the spine a little bit again. Curl your toes forward. We're going to start with the head, chin to your chest. Lift the chest, roll through the spine, making it a total rounded shape. So here's the cat shape. And then I'm going to start with the tailbone. Unroll from the bottom all the way up to the top. And then look forward. Okay, so again, we're going to start from the head, roll through to the tail to come into that rounded position. And then roll from the bottom up. And 1 more. And the bottom up. And then when you get unrolled, come to a neutral spine and side to side. Side to side. And other side. 1 more each way. And then come back to the center. Just for a moment, let's give the wrists a little bit of a break. Reach up and come around. Again. And come around. And then let's come back to where we just were. Knees together this time. Neutral spine. Slide one leg out with the toes down. And the opposite arm out with your fingertips down. Hold here, lifting away from the ground, evening out your shoulders and your hips. Breathe. And then come on back in. And then slide both out. Okay, so this is called a closed chain exercise. My fingers and my toes have not left the floor. The minute you lift the floor, it feels a lot different for all of the parts. It's a little bit more intense, which is absolutely fine, and please do that if that feels great to you right now. But this is just a little bit more gentle, and it allows me to stay really lengthened through my lumbar spine. And I'm just alternating here. After this, we're going to do one more step. One more each way. And then come back. Sit back on your heels. Again, feet together. Press the pubic bone forward. Reach the arms all the way up. Hook your thumbs. Fingertips to the ceiling. A little side stretch. And then the other side. And then come back to the center. All the way back down. One more thing on the hands and knees. Knees together. Hands under the shoulders. Bring one arm at a time out to the side. And continue to find your length, lifting away from the floor along the way. And then other side. Straight out, palm down. Plug that working shoulder in. Well, both of them are working. Plug them both in away from the ears. And again. Other side. Good. Bring your arm now by your side. Reach straight back. Lengthen the crown of the head in the other direction. And other side. One more each way. And reach. And then come down. Pull your foam roller back in. Hopefully it didn't roll all the way away. And then, again, child's pose. Arms are slightly heavier, higher than your head. And then relax your head down. Deep breath. And one more. Roll it back in. Roll it back in. Okay? A little bit more here. We're going to take our foam roller now and we're going to lie long ways on it. So I'm going to leave it right in the center of my mat and then turn around and sit on the edge, very, very, very edge. You should almost feel like you're going to fall off the edge. And then lie down and just make sure that your low spine and your head are both completely supported. So this is another position that, depending on how my back feels, could not be good for me if my back is really not doing well. It's okay today. I don't know if you can hear my dog. Okay. So arms long by your sides. I'm going to keep my elbows and my palms and my feet in a place that helps to give me more stability. Very often when I do this little series, I am challenging myself by taking away the stability to work the abdominals and create, like unstable conditions. But right now, that's the complete opposite. And really what I want to just feel is length and a nice released feeling in the pelvis. So I'm going to keep my feet wide and my knees wide. And then I'm going to see how it feels to bring one arm up and then to reach it back and come back up again and all the way down. And then the other side. And reach back. And all the way up and back down. And again, first arm up, reach, up, and down. And again, back, one another and open wide. And come on back in. And open wide. And come on back in. One more. And then come all the way down. Again, I'm going to come back, connected to the ground in a way that gives me a lot of stability. And I'm going to bring my head over to one side and just gently let my head hang towards that side. You can extend the opposite arm out in the opposite direction as well. And I'm completely released with my arm, and I'm trying to stretch out the neck here so my head is releasing to that one side. And then come back to the center, and I'm going to go to the other side here as well. And then come back, and I'm going to do this one more each way. And other side. And come back, and arms by my sides. All right. I'm going to roll to one side and come off of the foam roller and then lie flat on my back. Just to enjoy that really weird, lovely, long feeling that happens after I do that. And now I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together and let the knees go out wide. And take a few deep breaths here. Knees come back up. I'm going to roll to the side. And then come on up to sit. See how that feels? And I'm going to come around into a down dog. And see how that feels. And if down dog is not a good idea for you, you can always just do something else. I'm trying to send my sits bones to the wall behind me and my shoulders away from my ears. Two more deep breaths here. And then I'm going to soften my knees, walk back towards my feet, and then I'm going to really slowly come up. And then stand tall, deep breath. All right. Yeah, that was just a really gentle way to wake the parts up, to release them, find length, healing. Healing and release is nice sometimes. Keep listening to your body. Have a lovely day. Take care.